All right, let's talk about a show that's been capturing hearts all over India, the wholesome world of Gatsu and Shinki. Today, we're going to take a look at some of their absolute best moments and figure out, what's the magic ingredient that makes this series just so special? So, yeah, what is so special about their world? I mean, what's got so many families gathering around to watch? Is it just the funny characters, the cute stories, or is there something more going on here? That's what we're going to dig into, the secret sauce behind this show's amazing popularity. And honestly, a quote like this one, it pretty much says it all. Gatu, stay away from my pink kite. It's as fast as me. Right away, you get that playful, kind of competitive, but totally loving vibe between these two siblings. That's the core of the whole show right there. It's fun, it's so relatable, and it just perfectly sets the scene for everything else. Okay, so to really get what makes this show tick, we're going to break it down into four main parts. We'll start with family, which is really the foundation of everything. Then we'll look at how they celebrate culture. After that, we'll dive into all the little and big life lessons they sneak in. And we'll finish up with all the good stuff, friendship, mischief, and adventure. So let's jump right in with our first theme, family. And in Gatu and Chinky, family isn't just, in the background. It's the absolute foundation for every single thing that happens. Every adventure, every lesson, it all circles back to this tight-knit group. And this storyline is just a perfect example of that. It's all about mom learning to ride a scooter. It starts with a surprise from dad, a brand new scooter for their anniversary. But it's not just her journey. Gatu and Chinky actually help her study all the traffic signs for her test. And then, for her very first ride, you see Dad walking right alongside her while she's all wobbly. The whole family pitches in until she finally gets it. It's such a great picture of what real support looks like. And it's usually the little things that really hit home, like this moment. The kids have built this amazing blanket for it, but then they get hungry, and it feels like the fun is over. But then, Dad walks in with two huge boxes of noodles. It's such a simple gesture, but man, it just shows how much he's paying attention. The fun doesn't even stop there. Once they're all cozy in the fort eating their noodles, Dad turns off the lights and starts making shadow puppets. He makes a rabbit, an elephant, a deer, and the kids are totally captivated. They even decide that this, right here, is way more fun than just watching TV. It's all about making your own magic, together. All right, so that strong family bond naturally flows into our next big theme, which is culture. The show does such an amazing job of bringing all these incredible Indian festivals to life, making them really fun and easy for kids to understand. Let's start with Makar Sankranti. The show turns this into this huge, awesome kite festival for the entire neighborhood. You just see the sky filled with all these colorful kites, and everyone's getting into this friendly but, pretty fierce competition. It's just a pure moment of community spirit, all built around this super fun tradition. And then you've got Janmashtami, which celebrates the birth of Krishna. At home, the family is making Makhan Mishri, which is this sweet, buttery treat. But then the party spills out into the streets with the famous Dai Handi celebration. You see all the kids making a human pyramid, trying to break this pot of yogurt hanging way up high. It's a really cool way of showing how a family tradition connects to a bigger community festival. Next up, Ganesh Chaturthi. Here, the feeling is all about devotion and just being welcoming. The family brings a little idol of Ganpati Baba into their home, and there's lots of singing. But the really important part is the sharing. They hand out these delicious modiks. They're like sweet dumplings to all their friends and neighbors who stop by. It really drives home that idea of celebrating together. And all of this brings us to our third big idea, life's little and big lessons. What the show does so well is weave these important lessons into the stories without ever feeling like a lecture. They're just practical, relatable, and they stick with you. And usually, it all starts with a totally normal, everyday problem, like this. Dad's in the middle of a shower and boom! The water just cuts out. We've all been there, right? It's that moment of confusion that kicks off a way bigger lesson. And just how big is the problem? Well, this says it all. 0. That's how much water is left in the tank for the entire building. This isn't just their problem. The whole community is out of water. So what happens next? Well, the show makes it super clear. You can't take a bath, you eat something spicy, and oh no, there's no water to drink. You can't even wash your hands or face. Your whole day just stops completely. Everyone just has to sit around and wait for a water tanker to show up.
So see, the lesson isn't just told to you, you experience it with them. And the takeaway is so simple, but so powerful, you'll never forget it. Every single drop of water is precious.
They also tackle moral lessons, like this classic one about honesty. So Gatu and Chinky get a complaint in their school diary for messing around in class. Their brilliant plan? Step 1, don't tell mom and dad. Step 2, hope their teacher, Mr. Mishra, just forgets about it. Yeah, right. Of course, the plan completely falls apart when the teacher calls their mom directly and the truth comes out anyway. The lesson couldn't be clearer. Trying to hide something just makes it worse. Okay, and that brings us to our last theme, and this one is all about the fun. Because beyond all the family moments and the great lessons, this show is just jam-packed with friendship, a little bit of mischief, and a whole lot of adventure. And this scene in the haunted fort is just a perfect look at their personalities. Gatu is freaking out at every turn. It's a bat, it's a ghost, it's a snake. He's totally panicking. Meanwhile, Chinky is just cool as a cucumber. Gatu, relax. That was just a bird. That's the wind, and that's just a bunch of leaves. It tells you everything you need to know about their dynamic. And you've gotta love the pranks. This little chart from their April Fool's episode is just priceless. So Chinky is on a roll. She pulls 3 pranks on Gatu. 3! And poor Gatu, he can't manage to get her back even once. He's at 0. But who's the surprise winner of the day? Mom. She lands one single perfect prank, the classic snake in a can, and totally gets Chinky. It is just brilliant. So when you pull it all together, you really see what's at the heart of Gatu and Chinky. It's all about those relatable family moments full of love and support. It's about celebrating culture and tradition with joy. It's about teaching valuable lessons through simple stories. It's really just a beautiful celebration of a wholesome, modern Indian childhood. And I guess that leaves us with one last thing to think about. In a world that's all about crazy, high-octane entertainment, what's the real value of stories that find their magic in the simple things? You know, the everyday joys of life. What's the power of a story that's not about superheroes but about family, friendship, and a simple blanket fort? It's definitely something worth considering. Thanks so much for joining me for this breakdown.